All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Should be live here. So, welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we're here to review, summarize what went down on Friday Night SmackDown. And oh boy, was I switching back and forth between the game and, of course, SmackDown, and I caught most of SmackDown. I saw practically all of it, actually. But you guys don't need to know anything about that. But what you guys need to know is what went down on SmackDown. And of course, a football game. If you guys haven't already, you guys can go check out Lewis's video. Quick 5-minute video on that game. But as far as we're concerned, we only had a couple things on the card here. So not much went down. But a lot of other shit went down. This is actually a pretty good fucking episode of SmackDown. During the Monday's Raw, CM Punk got into an altercation with Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. As he was leaving, Punk asked Adam Pearce where SmackDown was located this week. When Pearce said Chicago, the Second City Saint looked excited. So Punk was scheduled to appear on the show this week, but everyone was waiting to see if AJ Lee would show up and join her husband in the fight against Rollins and Lynch. So do we get this here? We're going to find out. The last time in the Windy City. See, SmackDown opened up with a quick recap of Clash in Paris before John Cena made his way to the ring to kick off his final appearance in Chicago. Soak it in, because it's his last. He soaked in the response from the crowd for a bit before speaking. The crowd chanted, "Thank you, Cena." And he said it meant a lot coming from the Chicago crowd because it's the place he started, or the city he got into the business and slapped Kurt Angle and said ruthless aggression. And it's also a place that he has had dear to his heart, facing CM Punk on multiple occasions. I forget who else he faced in Chicago. But he said he came out with nothing planned and was just happy to be there and hear the crowd chant his name. Cena also said this was not just his last time in Chicago, but it was his last time appearing on SmackDown. Okay. He reminisced about making his debut in the same building over 20 years ago. Really? Wow, must have been the same building. He acted like he was about to leave when Sami Zayn's music hit. He reminded Cena that he made his debut by challenging him for the US title, and now he holds that belt. So he wants to bring back the open challenge with Cena's permission. Of course, Cena said it was a great idea, and then Zayn suggested they fight over the title right there and then. After some pondering, Cena finally agreed. This was a good promo from Cena because it felt genuine, and having it lead into a match against Zayn was icing on this cake. So a B+. Screw this. B+. B+. Definitely. It's kind of weird to also to think that there was once a time when Cena was guaranteed to get booed in Chicago. This crowd gave him a warm welcome. CM Punk's new shirt also had a reference to the Cubs in the design. He implied that it was the Chicago fans who brought CM Punk back to the WWE. And for some reason, Zayn got some boos. So speaking on that, let's get into the match. Oh, shit. Getting into that, let's speak into the match. Well, John Cena and Sami Zayn. The match got started right when we came back from the commercial break. They began with a simple lockup sequence that led to Zayn hitting an arm drag. The underdog from the underground had the upper hand for a few minutes, but kept the pace somewhat slow. Cena sold every move a little more than he needed to, but it led to the crowd popping for his comeback. Both men took some big bumps during the break, including a Blue Thunder Bomb from Zayn, Cena hitting an AA when we returned, but he only managed to get a 2 count. Zayn managed to kick out of a second AA before hitting an exploder suplex followed by a haluva kick for a 2 count. Cena even gave him the GTS, but he still couldn't get the pin. Cena hit an attitude adjustment from the middle rope, but he was unable to follow up with a cover. That's when, of course, Brock Lesnar showed up. Yep, the motherfucking beast came back. He grabbed Zayn, hit him with he pulled the referee out, took him out, then grabbed Zayn and hit the F5 before doing the same thing to Cena. These two have always worked well together, so there was little doubt that this would be enjoyable. It might not have been the kind of match they could have had put on 10 years ago, but both guys look good. It would have been nice to get a clean finish, but Lesnar appearing was also a foregone conclusion. So I'm going to give this honestly an A. We're switching up the grades here. The B+ promo, and then followed it up with an A match, even if it was no contest. Now, there was no reason for Zayn getting booed. The Chicago crowd just sort of decided to do it because they love Cena. Cena also used Kevin Owens' pop-up powerbomb, CM Punk's GTS, Edge's spear, and Kurt Angle's signature angle slam. Guys he's probably faced in Chicago. But, of course, Zayn injured himself during his debut entrance in the original match. Not working. Oh, God. Not ended up working the whole match. Now, the reason, it was with a bad shoulder. And you guys are probably wondering, like, where did Zayn get injured from the bad shoulder? Well, when Zayn did his entrance and he was so hyped up, he moved his arm so far up, like getting the crowd up, that he fucking extended it so far that he just injured himself during that. It was weird to see that he injured himself during his entrance. But no, this is a match that you go out of your way and see. Out of everything on the card, this is worth it. This is worth it. Minus the commercial breaks. They let this shit go on for like a good fucking... took up the majority of the first hour of the show. This. And I kept asking Lewis, what time was it? We got to our next segment, which was Aleister Black and Damian Priest in a match. It was kind of quick. As Damian Priest was making his way to the ring, Aleister Black attacked him from behind and drove him into the apron. He sent Priest over the barricade with a running knee, and then sat in the middle of the ring while the officials tended to his opponent. We returned to see Priest heading back to the ring, despite medics telling him not to. As soon as he got in, Black started kicking him. By the time the bell rang, the Archer of Infamy looked like he didn't even know where he was. Black went right back on the offense, as a dazed Priest kept trying to get up. We returned from another break to see the Dutch Destroyer getting mad that he couldn't put Priest away. The former world champion began building up some momentum as he made a comeback. He slammed Black into the announce table with a razor's edge, but Black was able to use the referee as a distraction and hit the Black Mask for the win. The way this match began made it seem like it would be short, but they ended up fighting through 2 segments and had a decent showing along the way. Both men like to use a lot of strikes, so this is about some of the stiffest shots you're going to see. With Black winning, I do think this was a B-, just essentially because of where we're at with the show and programming. I think it's fair to say this is a B-. The Miz and Mello were shown asking Pierce for a tag team title match, or Nick Aldis, sorry, not Pierce. Nick Aldis, for a tag team title match backstage as Lynch arrived in the SUV. So there's that. We cut to our next, of course, championship match, because we had 2. Our second United States Championship match saw Julia defend the title against, of course, Michin. They wasted a little time picking up the pace. Michin sent Julia out of the ring, but allowed the Beautiful Madness to hit a neck breaker for the win, on the floor. We went to a break, came back to see both women throwing punches and headbutts. With a little help from Kiana James, Julia was able to hit her finisher for the win. After, of course, Kiana James, kept getting involved. Both of these superstars are talented competitors, so they found their groove right away. My fucking Jesus! I keep hitting that button. Why? I'm sorry. Both these superstars are talented competitors, so they found their groove right away and worked well together to put on a solid performance. If this had been longer or didn't have a break in the middle, it would have been much better. I think not having a commercial break would have been fine. The video package for Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton was good. The amount of time between the beginning of the match and the break was way too short. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got some good news for you. She's back! Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, AJ Lee has made a return! And I was pumped. I was like, she's back! She's back! I was excited. Rollins appeared in the crowd before the final break, and when we returned, Lynch arrived in the ring. The man admonished the crowd for chanting for someone else as soon as she got the mic. She proceeded to insult every Chicago sports team, except for the Bears, because that's her husband's favorite team. And Punk's. To get as much heat on her as possible. This is when Punk showed up. They traded some insults, and Lynch slapped Punk in the face. Several more times, the straightest superstar finally got out of the ring to then look at Becky and said, he even told Becky, like, I could have had my sister come in here and whoop your ass. Hell, I could have asked Rhea Ripley to come in here and beat your ass. Hell, I could even ask one of my daughters to come in here and beat your ass. But I didn't. Because I know somebody who's willing to give you that ass beating that you deserve. So Becky, of course, that's when the straightest superstar brought out his wife to a thunderous pop. Becky tried to attack, but AJ took her down and started beating on her. Punk watched with a smile as his wife took care of business. The show ended with AJ jumping into Punk's arms as the crowd cheered. This was highly predictable and telegraphed, but it didn't stop this from being a great part of the show. And AJ has been missed for so long. It's great to have her back, even if it's just temporary, with her signing a contract to probably end out the year. So, graded a B+? No. This is definitely an A at best. This segment right here. But again, maybe because it was predictable. I get it. But this to me will always be an A. So, tell you what. We'll have this be a B+. But to me, it will endear my heart. It will be an A. I was so excited for it. And I was waiting for it to whoop her ass. So what was the final grade? Well, Friday Night SmackDown was lights on matches. There were only 3 taking place across the entire 2-hour show. Everything else was promos and video packages and backstage segments. See, Zayn and Cena kicked things off to have a fun match that ended abrupt thanks to Lesnar's interference. Black and Priest beat each other senseless. And Micha and Julia had a short but decent match. The one you should go out of your way and see the most of is Cena and Sami Zayn's match. There are 2 things that people tuned in this week for. Cena's final appearance in Chicago, but even if that didn't seem to have the crowd as invested as the return of AJ Lee. The ending of the show with Rollins, Lynch, Punk, and Lee was the right call. Cena and Zayn had the best match, but there was no way this show could end with anything other than the 2 married couples. As a whole, this episode was strange because it felt a little too light on the action, but the big moments were well done. And of course, I do agree, this episode was a bit strange, but one of the best SmackDowns to ever come back. And did you guys know that, funny enough, CM Punk had came back August 27th of 2021 because of AEW. He didn't wrestle his first match until like September 5th or so. Or September 6th or some shit like that. And to the day, almost four fucking years to the day, it had been fucking having her come back, having her return. It's a beautiful moment to think, you know, the time that's gone by. And 10 years since she's been in the WWE. Been away. Writing books, starting doing some like promos and shit. Wow. You know, like, and that's even a shocker too. Wow. So, honestly, because I changed a couple of grades, this is getting bumped up to, honestly, an A-, not a B-. Even though it was a little light on the action, it was there. The excitement was there. Cena and fucking Zayn, it was there. Brock Lesnar getting involved and destroying both men, amazing. Ending segment. That ending segment was great. They're gonna lead to McIntyre and Orton probably getting having a number 1 contenders match at WrestlePalooza. We're obviously going to get a snippet of Raw. We're gonna see, of course, Becky and Seth challenge Punk and AJ, or have Punk challenge AJ, or challenge AJ. Have Punk and AJ challenge Lynch and Rollins. I think it'd be worth it. Get out of here. I think it would be worth it. And WrestlePalooza gets stacked up. So, that's my thinking. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think this was a pretty good episode. But, this has been the SmackDown summary. And, yeah, I will see you guys on Tuesday for the Raw review. And I will also see you guys next Saturday for the SmackDown summary. And if you guys haven't heard already, me and Lewis will be at the Mass Mutual Center for, of course, Monday Night Raw, the go-home show before WrestlePalooza, which, of course, you will also get me doing the Raw review. As you guys haven't heard, I will be doing the Raw review for that. And, of course, we won't be catching... We'll do the SmackDown summary. We won't be catching WrestlePalooza, but I will give you the review of it on the Sunday. As you know, it's all set up and shit. So, and I'll give you my predictions Thursday. So, I will see you guys later in the week. Peace!